You are now listening to Eclectic Tongue. Today, yesterday, and tomorrow's music and culture tech. With the Alchemist Rose, MakP, and Kojak.
Welcome. You are now listening to Eclectic Tongue. I am the Alchemist Rose, and I'm here with my cohorts, my aces. I got the MakP with me.
What up, what up?
I got the Kojak with me. What's up, Kojak?
Kojeezy's in the house. Good morning. I got my first cup of coffee. Yes.
I hope that everybody out there missed us a little bit and they're anticipating what we have to say this week because we anticipate what everyone else has to say, right? So, welcome back, and I hope you stay with us a little longer. Tune in some more. We'll be releasing some episodes every other week. So stay tuned. We'll put out a schedule so that everybody can know when to tune in. But this is us. Let's get eclectic. Get eclectic with us.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah. Thank you, Kellen. Alchemist.
Ooh, government.
No, he's always throwing out my government. Every week he's throwing out my government. Hey, it's all good. It's all good. I'm a real person. It's okay. I go by that name too. I got multiple personalities.
He has multiple personalities. And we love them all.
Oh, why? Thank you.
None of them are crazy. Well, I haven't met the crazy.
Yeah,
Oh, I know crazy.
Oh, yeah, Cole met crazy.
We
met cray.
Man, I knew her. I met her when I went to college. She was in my class.
Yeah, Kingsborough.
That's like I knew her since 1995. That's crazy.
Oh shoot, was it 95 for real?
Yep.
Oh wow, you put out our age out there and everything. So it was.
I started like when I was in college at 12. Man, what you talking about?
He's a genius.
We were doing He's a genius. He was in there in diapers. Yeah. We were taking a broadcasting together, right? We were doing broadcasting together, and Cole was starting a newspaper, and that's how we met. It was a newspaper called No Doubt. Do you remember that?
That's right. Yep. Oh
yeah.
Man, I still got the old articles in Brooklyn. I'm gonna put them on the show when I bring him back. Or I go back to Brooklyn, come back.
Yeah, he was doing a newspaper, and he was like, "Hey, would you like to write for our paper?" And I was like, "Oh, cool."
Yeah. And it was love ever since.
It was love ever since. Love and creativity ever since.
Yo, that's like 27 years. For real.
Wow.
That's real talk. Yep.
Clap to that.
Make him clap to that.
Yeah,
even though the math is a little off, but we'll just still clap.
Nah, I started in 95. We in 2017.
Yeah, that's not 27.
Come on now. 95 to 2005 is 10, right?
Oh boy,
Sorry,
here we go.
Johnny.
Uh-oh.
My son was born in 90. He's 27.
I remember. I was cradling him. Called him right out of math class.
Do you remember I used to take my son to class with me?
Yeah, I remember. Oh my God.
Word.
We got to get him on the show. By the way, I want people to know, like, your son is mad talented. He's an MC, and I'll let you say the rest because we definitely gonna have him up here.
Yeah, my son is he's super talented. And it happened by mistake. That's the thing that's crazy, right? So out of high school, I think every teenage urbanite rhymes, you know what I mean, to some degree, or loves music, right? But it was like by accident. After high school, he was trying to figure out what he wanted to do. He didn't want to go to college for like traditional college. So he went to like an art institute. And all the projects and stuff were like challenging his music creativity. And then when he left that school, went to another school, was just engineering, no other stuff, and he just focused on engineering. Well, they made him produce, they made him write songs, they made him do all this stuff and it was like great. And he went to school with that kid from Crisscross, Chris something or other, the guy that passed away.
Oh, really?
And,
oh, wow.
Yeah, he went to school with him, and they got to build. And, he's a little older than him, so he was, like, guiding him and helping him and stuff like that. And then he realized that he was actually good at it, and he actually loved it. So when I see him now flourish, I go, oh, wow, this is remarkable, which it's so different from, like, I always told him, don't go down my path. Don't do music. Don't do music. Don't get into music. It's hard. It's convoluted. It's all right. And then it's like, so when he was starting to do all this stuff, I was like, don't really get into music. But then I realized as watching him do music that music has changed. Like the technology he uses, how he uses social media platforms, all that stuff. And I was like, he goes by Ralph Peter, which is his true government, Ralph Peter. And I'm like, yo, you make it so simple. But it leads me to believe that, simplicity is not always key. It's not always good. But is it? Does technology make it simple, or does technology make it difficult? Like when I watch him do his thing, and like how fast these millennials can record now versus what it was like back in the day. Like I'm sure Mac, it cuts into your profit margin because like people could record in their bedrooms. Like
right.
I'm sure it cuts into what you're doing. Like they can record like even in the film industry, like they're recording movies on their iPhones.
Yes.
When I was on vacation, I did that. Like I did a beat on my iPad on the boat.
And was it crisp? Was it clean? Was it beautiful?
Yeah, the quality, like packing these iPads, man, is same.
Yeah, that's the wave. I'm glad we're talking about this too, because this is the wave that music is going to be mobile. We're no longer going to be needing all these, the desktop type of publishing for music. It's just going to be mobile. You could do it on your iPad. You could do it on your phones, tablets. This is where it's definitely going to go there.
So what was the question I think we had, Alchemist had said was
she stated it already.
Technology, but I don't remember exactly. What did you say?
Does technology aid to success? Or does it aid to like a musician or artist's demise? Now we're not just talking about music. We're talking about video, audio, like all of that stuff, even art. Like, come on, like nowadays people could look at art. Like, there's no more photo albums and stuff like that. People have like digital albums that's like flashing across their TV all day long and stuff like that. So, and they consider that art. Like, I have a friend that has just this huge widescreen TV on his wall. And it just stays on all day long. He has all white walls, nothing else around him. And that huge TV screen just flashes art all day.
That's dope.
Flashes art. Yeah. It's dope. So, like, does that bring down the profit margins of, like, artists who are painting up stuff on huge canvases that nobody's like, we don't need that anymore. Everything's digital. You know what I'm saying?
What I hear when you say that, I just think about that, art has, the appeal for people to like have to be stuck on one thing is kind of like, why would I do that? Like, why would I just like when I hear you say that, why would I just have one art piece on my wall when I can have this TV that plays multiple? So we're living in an age of like information being readily available, and whatever I want, I'm getting instantaneously. And we don't, like, instead of having one mural that you would keep up there for days, people are now, like, wanting to have choices, like, wanting to see different things that reflect their mood continuously throughout the day, or don't reflect their mood. So, like, something new comes into your space. Like, you could just not, you may not want to see that mural in that moment, and some other image pops up, and you're like, oh, this is how I'm really feeling right now. You might put it on pause for a little while before you go to the next moment.
Mm-hmm.
But that's kind of like
true.
all you have to do is look at books. You know, books. People love to touch and feel of books, but look at now, everybody's going through Kindles and iPads and reading books. You know, what's happening to the actual book these days? You know what I mean? Or like how how wax vinyl is like was a thing of the past, and now it's like it's funny because it's almost like this battle where these diehard and also people who just love the feel and the sound of it, even the quality, even if it's not as good as digital, but there's a certain warmth, there's a certain kind of romance to actually having the physical, the nostalgia of actually physically playing it, the design of, now they have turntables that are beautifully designed if you look online that are now like pieces of art.
Yeah.
And so it all depends, but yeah, it's definitely changing the market as far as the cost, and as far as does it help an artist or it doesn't. It depends who you ask. I think it depends what kind of music you're doing. You know,
I still believe that, you know, technology is technology, something that lives outside of yourself that you actually use. So I still think the mastery comes from the person. You know, I had a conversation. I had a conversation with someone in my field, and we were talking about that. You know, machines do everything. And I'm like, no, I tell machines what to do, and I'm the master of how I associate and be with that machine to create whatever I want to create. So I still think mastery lives in the person. I still think it's in that person's moment to experience, to create. I think we still master that part, but I definitely think technology at the same time can help people who are not that great look better than what they are.
I agree with that.
Yeah, let's get that auto-tune up, baby.
I agree with that. I totally do. But then will we see like a rising of the machine? Like, will it be where you no longer have to tell the machines what to do? That the machines are going to be like
artificial intelligence.
Auto. Yeah, like, you know, like, are we going to be looking at a point where we just tell a machine, oh, I want an upbeat tune that, you know, kind of housey, and it just creates some original music?
Yeah.
Like, what's up with...
That's happening. That's actually happening.
It is already out.
I feel like everything that we used to see as profitable is no longer profitable. Not to that, you know, lucrative point of profitability. I think it's more or less like, if you really, you know, could crack that, you could crack the surface of it and get in there, then maybe, yeah, you'll be that big money winner. But I feel like the market is so saturated. There's too much because technology is happening so quick. There's too much music to keep you know, track of. There's too much technology to keep track of. Like, every time you pay a large sum of money for a piece of technology, next week there's a new one. Like, what do you do? How do you stay on top of it if this is your livelihood? Do you just buy everything? Do you keep it analog? Do you go, you know, stay old school or whatnot? Like, my brother is a DJ out here in Atlanta, and you know, pretty big, pretty popular, DJ Cash, and he holds on to his vinyl. I mean, hundreds and hundreds of vinyl, and every day he's like, vinyl's making a comeback. You know,
that's hilarious.
Like, I'm like, you know, he keeps it. It's like artwork, like the vinyl behind you, Matt. It's like, to me, it's artwork in his room. I mean, his like music room, the way he has it placed, the way he has it, you know, like his old school turntables on the thing with the vinyl all around it. And I'm like, dude, this is art now. This is not even
right.
It's a museum. It's a museum, you know. It's a museum. So you got the.
It's funny because you say that, and I have
of DJs in his room. He got the
right.
He got the Guggenheim of music equipment in his room. Nah.
It's funny you say that because I have pieces right here on the desktop and their external modules, you know them, the Proteus 2000, XV30, they're considered vintage now. I looked on eBay. I got an X5DR half rack. So I kind of got a hybrid of stuff. I still got my MPC 2000 XL. So I like to merge the two with the new and the old. And like I got an Novation here that's relatively new. They're still pumping out keyboards, but a lot of these racks are now plugins for iPads. Like I have an iPad with a shitload of plugins that used to be external pieces of gear that were thousands of dollars, and I bought maybe for $10 now.
Oh man!
Because the technology, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So is that the key then? What you said, like mixing the old with the new? Is that the only way to stay, like I don't know, straddle the line? Is to mix the old with the new, or can you just really survive with just the new, or can you just really survive with just the old? Like, or do you like what's the key?
You know how I see it is like it still goes back to people understanding their gear. I know people who bought tons of gear and don't know how to use it. And then I know people who had very minimalistic pieces of gear, and they did wonders with it. You know, they might just have a SP1200 and a 950 and just like kill it. You know, that was a classic hip hop organization of your gear that you would get. You know what I'm saying? You would have that. Mm-hmm. And then you would have people who had tons of keyboards who have all this stuff and don't know how to really use it, you know, don't know how to manipulate it and create what they want to create on a regular basis. It's like, you know, they have fun experiencing, oh, I did this track, and it's like you could have just you're only using 2 of those pieces. You're not really using all of it, or you're not really freaking it. And that's what hip hop was about, you know, or what it is about. It's about freaking what you got. No matter what it is, you gotta freak what you got. You know, you can't just say, oh, I'm buying all the gear does not make you. Just like this, you know, saying the saying, money does not make the man. It's the same thing. Equipment does not make the producer. You know, it's a tool. It's a tool, but you got to know how to freak it.
Right.
I seen people kill Reason, and I hate Reason. You know, Reason. Not when I say I hate Reason, I didn't like the sound that it outputted, but I knew some producers that would make it sound like they were recording on vinyl. I mean, it was recorded off of vinyl, or it was just recorded off tape. The way they manipulated the sounds and the way they had it all put together, they would freak that joint. It would be so dope when I'm listening. I'm like, you did this off a Reason? And, you know, I could, you know, when I wrap my head around it, I'm like, damn, you're a dope producer. You understand how to master your equipment. You're like, yeah, man, I tweak it. I know how to do this. I'm like, it's the same thing as being an engineer. It's like, it's not about your gear. Oh, you know, it's about the gear, but then it's not about the gear. You know, it's about what gear you know how to choose for you to represent what you want to represent as far as your art and what you're creating.
Those dope and Reason? Jason, Sunburn. Remember Sunburn?
Yeah.
Man, he used to kill Reason.
My man Joe, Joe Teklas. I'm thinking of a producer, Joe Teklas. He's one of the remember this group back in the day, the 950 Boys, or what were they? It was a band back in the 90s. Oh, damn, when we do the post that. I'm gonna send you the information to do. But his dad was like the best accordion, one of the top accordions players in the world.
Oh my God! You know, that's one of the most annoying instruments to me I've ever heard.
Yeah, but he freaks it, Cole. Like if you he freaks it. So Joe Teklas, he would come to me in the studio, and I would hire him for keyboard playing on certain tracks, and he would play me tracks of a Reason. I'm like, this is crazy, bro. Crazy.
Oh, look who just fell off and popped back in. Welcome back.
Yeah, sorry. I don't know why it always drops me. Like, I think it just tells me, that's enough talking for you. And it just, like, drops me. But, yes, I
gotta get V from Vendetta back up in here.
I know. You fix it later, Johnny. You
I'll
fix
fix
everything,
it.
Cole.
I fix for you. I
Cole.
fix for you. I fix for you.
Thank you, Zaddy.
Well, I mean, I ain't get to tell you, man. You looking good today, girlfriend.
Oh, thank you.
I
I'll look good next
I
time,
think you
too.
told her a couple of times already.
Yeah, he did.
But I ain't tell her while we was alive on camera.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Well, no.
Thank you. Thank you, Zaddy.
Zaddy.
Oh, God. So let me ask you guys a question, like, honestly, because you guys are like the gearheads. I'm not. Like, I'm not into the, like, software. Some software I could play with, but you guys are like gearheads. You're into software, you're into hardware, you're into everything. Like, what do you see the future? Where do you see, like, that technology in the future of music industry? Do you think that it'll automatically, like, well, not automatically, but, like, in some form or fashion, push the artist out of industry or element? Do you think it'll challenge them, or do you think it'll pose to be a huge distraction? Because the truth of the matter is that a lot of the technology now is so simplified that anybody, even I can pick it up and use it without, and then make some kind of song and use auto tunes, and then all of a sudden I'm like, making some corny ass song, and it could be a hit. It could be a hit. So like,
let's make it. Because I need to pay my student loans. Put that hit out. Eclectic tongue hit. Who's your daddy?
I think it's going to be changed. I think what artists are going to have to struggle with, or the challenge is to switch up. It's going to go to mobile. It's going to go to this thing. It's going to go to that thing. It's about, and another thing that's going to be challenging is like to make things that they like. Because who wants to just keep creating what's already out there? After a while, you just, I'm not, what makes you special is when you're different. So I think artists struggle to be different and are going to struggle with learning technology. Like, I'm working with someone right now, and they're strictly a producer, but they have no idea on how to use their Mac. Like,
oh, wow.
they bought a Macintosh computer, and Macs are pretty relatively easy from my point of view, but
that's what y'all say. Well, us Windows users, no.
Right. No. And she doesn't know how to use her Mac, like, at all. Like, she's like,
what was she using before?
I don't think she was using. She's a violinist.
Oh.
She wants to. She's a composer. Plays instrument, but now she wants to like compose. Like on a digital format, and it's like,
right.
And she's an older person. So she's an older woman. She's not like, and that's a learning curve itself. When you haven't really been around technology. So, and I just put her out there because let's say, an artist that just, goes from strictly just playing the instrument to like, I want to just compose now. How do we compose nowadays? Like, I used to do composition on sheet music and have musicians play it. Now you're like, well, that's going to be a lot. That's a time consuming, and it costs a lot of money to like just write something and then hire a band to like actually hear how it sounds when you could just compose it on a digital medium. Now, how do you get over the learning curve of learning how to compose on a digital setting? That becomes problematic. And then now you have to understand the program, and then you have to understand how to use the computer's OS or operating system as a whole, and that becomes another learning curve. So it's like learning curve upon learning curve upon learning curve. And these young kids that grow into it, they got it down pat. They understand.
Yeah, because they raised like with it in their hands. Like, I mean, you have babies that are using tablets at 6 months.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So
yes. My niece was killing it.
It's natural to them. See, that's what I'm saying. How old is your niece?
My niece, when she was maybe like a year and a half, like around that, and she was killing it. She knew how to drag and drop. She had this game where she would dress up dolls with clothing, and she had to match the clothing onto the child. and she would just drag and drop and know how to like place shoes on it.
Crazy.
And now she's doing fashion shows and creating dresses. But at sixth grade, I mean, not sixth grade, 6 years old, in the first grade, she just finished the fashion show. But it just goes to how the mind works, and the earlier you jump on it, of course, it just becomes second nature. But when it's not second nature, that learning curve could be very distraction and very like frustrating for artists. That's like, so we go back to the other artist that's learning how to use her equipment. She wants to use Logic, and then the VST she's like, I don't understand how this thing is running. I just don't get it. And I'm supporting her with that. So, hey,
that's nice. Oh, look at you. Oh, yeah, man. You care about the people.
I care, I care.
Yeah, I was thinking, Carol, Alchemist, about what you just said, and I think it's just technology is another tool to add to the palette of everything that's out. You know what I mean? Because look where all the stuff started. You know what I mean? First, whoever made the first guitar to the electric guitar. The guitar always still existed, and now it was electric. So, and I just think it's just a hybrid of things that they're always going to be there. And I just think it broadens the palette of sound and the kind of music that's out. And humans will always want to express themselves creatively using, newer technologies that just keep coming out. Now, at the end of the day, it's what comes out of it. If it sounds good and it's appealing and it resonates to you, then you've succeeded. That's it really, because our palettes and our what we like changes too. Even just look at the beginning of rap, from Sugar Hill and all them to mumble rap. You know what I mean? We have a huge palette of hip hop now, so there's something for everyone, and I just think that it just keeps broadening the horizon. That's all it does. Just adds more flavor to the ice cream or whatever.
Yeah. Right. True.
And I say there's a sense of overkill. Everything is not for everyone. I understand everyone wants to experience. You don't have to experience. I always tell artists, like, you don't have to go and get the newest of the newest. It's not all. That's not what's gonna make you. Like, if you don't know how to like interject that into what you're doing, you don't have to. And a lot of people feel like that's how they gotta compete. Like, oh, so and so got the latest Pro Tools, and I gotta go get that too. Yeah. So and so got the latest device. I gotta go get. I seen this producer using that. Like, you don't got to, man. Like, I mean.
Mac, that's perfect advice, man. If anybody's really listening, if they're trying to get any nuggets from this conversation, that was the perfect advice. You don't got to worry about what everybody else is doing. You got to stay in your lane.
Yeah, make the best out of what you got. I mean, motherfuckers is on corners drumming on a bucket. Sounding better than somebody on a drum machine. I mean, make the best out of what you got. And then one day when you got the money and you get a little extra, then go ahead and buy that thing. Because it's like people with sneakers, they think, oh, I got to get the next Jordans probably to be better in basketball. You know what I mean? It's like, make the best out of what you got.
Right. And you want, don't just take your money and just go buy it. Think about it. Think, how does this thing support me? How would this thing really work? Don't just let the salesman like, yo, yeah, this is the newest, baddest thing. And you're like, think about it. Really, have these conversations, ask these questions. That's what's going to really support someone in getting the tools that they want. You don't just go and just get any tool for any job. You're not going to get a buzzsaw to nail in walls, and you're not going to do that. You're going to ask, what's the best tool for this? What is your end game, and then figure out what is the best tool for that end game. That's how I think about equipment.
Yeah, make sure you're going to use it too, because if not, just rent it. You can rent equipment. You don't necessarily have to buy it.
Yeah, test it out. Test it out. Do your research. and talk to other people that's in your field that's doing what you want to do. Maybe another user, figure it out. Because
Yeah, I think that's the key too. That's another good point. Like a lot of, I noticed like millennials, they don't lean on people who are a little more advanced than them. They don't lean like, I think it's more or less like, oh, I'm gonna figure it out myself, or I don't want no one else to know what I'm doing. Like I feel like when we was coming up, it was more so like you lean on who came before you, like you learn from them, you grasp all that knowledge. But I feel like nowadays they feel like I'm paving a new path for myself, and I don't need anyone else, and I'm gonna figure this out, and I'm gonna use this technology in a different way that but sometimes it's trash. You just gotta realize that you have to lean on people who know how to do it better than you. Right. Sometimes you just have to. Sometimes you have to borrow a recipe if you can't cook. You know what I'm saying? Borrow a recipe, figure out how to do it, learn some techniques, and then bring it out on your own.
Yeah. Order that shit from the restaurant, call your date over, put it in another plate, and pop it in the oven. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, baby, I made this.
Fake the rules,
I think they're already doing that. They're already doing that, signing their name to shit that don't belong to them. I think they're doing that.
Oh, man, take an empty bottle of Moet and fill it up with something else.
Oh, apple cider.
But I already cracked it open for you, Mama. I got you.
That's right. It's breathing. It's breathing. I'm letting it breathe.
Oh, you fancy. Okay. You got that rosé.
Well, we at that mark, man.
Yeah. Yo, great show. I hope all the artists out there know that we out here just, spreading our experiences. We want everyone to succeed. But, most of all, everyone be happy in doing what they want to do. This is Eclectic Tongues, and I'm MakP.
And I'm Kojak.
I'm the Alchemist, the Rose. Yeah, like Kojak. And if you guys have any questions, if you have any concerns, like something that's been on your mind, just like, inbox us. Like, you know what I'm saying? Leave us a comment. Tell us what you want to talk about, what you want to hear. If you have questions about your journey in the industry, what you need to be doing, or what you're not sure if what you're doing is right or wrong, let us know.
Yeah, if you got any albums you want us to review or movies, we'll go ahead and knock that out.
Oh,
too.
yeah. We'll give you some unbiased opinions.
Unbiased opinion, straight up.
Right, absolutely. Yeah.
All right, y'all.
All right.
Peace, deuces.
Later.